G'day pickers and welcome back to the Guitar Garden. Today we're going to venture away from our beginner list because I've had a few questions, comments about some cooler stuffy, more advanced pickers like myself. That's a walking stick in case you didn't know. So a lot of questions I get from students is how to get away from the blues box or the pentatonic, minor pentatonic, which we all love because it's just so easy and natural, and we can always pump our chord over the top. So we all love what I call the dead man's box, because once you get in here, you never get out. And it's cool for a reason. But there are so many more. Okay, so today we're going to look at, if you noticed on the end of that little piece, I've extended, because up until now, even if you know this one starting on the 5th string, which is A, same scale. So even if you know this one, we're going this way of the fret, so we're moving up. But what if we move this way? Lots of people forget about this way. So I'll put up a little chart here. It's easy enough to find, but I'll put a little chart here. So instead of starting with my index, dead man box, I start with my pinky. Okay, so I'm just going to go through this slow, which is from our original scale. I'm going to stretch out to the 2, 5 from the original scale, 2, which is a what note? G string, A note, so that's my root note. That's like this. Root note. Okay, but I'm going to continue. So you see this symmetrical thing. This is my A note. This is my C note. You don't really have to know it for now. C note. All these gaps, intervals are going to be the same for certain scales. So for our minor pentatonic, we've got this. That's our first gap. Okay, then we'll go. We go back to our. It's in our scale. 3, the E, the G, and then back to my root note. So we're going to go pinky, which is the A. So I'm not going to be too particular which fingers we use, because it depends on where we're going, what we're doing, okay? But for now, just make sure you start with the pinky. So we've got pinky, 3, which is the C note. That's this. Big stretch. The A. Big stretch to the C, which is our root note starting again, an octave higher. G, and then back to the A. Gives that pinky a real workout. So even if you rock the Dead Man's Box a lot, this just gives us an extra voice on top of what we know. Even if you're only adding a few notes from either one. You can still use your cool double stops or your bends, your hammer-ons from your Dead Man's Box, but we can just venture out into a new box. Okay, so real slow, just once again. Pinky, that's my root note. C, the D, the E, the G, back to my A, my root note. And because it's all symmetrical, this is always my gap for my pentatonic. The D, the E, the G, and then I'm back to my A. Okay, so we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, root note. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, root note. It's the same. 5, root note. 2, 3, 4, 5, root note. Doesn't matter where I am. It's always the same. That's the beauty of guitar. It's symmetrical. So if you know that that scale always kicks off with that interval, it's going to kick off on that interval wherever you start at the A. But therein lies a great idea for the next lesson, which is knowing where you are, what notes we are. What note is this? What note is this? What note is this? That's super important. You can learn all the scales you want, but if you can't get to it quick enough, you're left hanging. Okay, so we're going to do something on that next. Cool, so practice up. Try to work out all your cool licks that you love in the Dead Man's Box. Try to work them out in our new box. Have some fun with it. See you out there.